Hello, friends. Hello. I'm back. We're back. I'm back with another Pick a Pile reading, and this one is called. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to title it yet. It will either be Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, which is what I thought of when I first decided that I want to read for this topic, or it will simply be Messages from Your Shadow Self. It could also be Who is Your Shadow Self? We'll see that. But yes, this is essentially a messages from your shadow self reading, and I've had the desire to read for this topic for a while, for at least a couple of weeks, that I just couldn't find the right timing for it. I had a feeling that it could potentially be a heavy topic, and so I had to be in the right energy for it. You had to be in the right energy to receive it, and yeah, we're finally going to do this tonight. As always, there are 3 groups for you to choose from. I have 3 crystals with me here. I might not be able to add a video tonight, so you might have to replay this part a little bit for a bit to pick your group, but yes, we will be patient with ourselves tonight. Oh, I love that energy. Okay, let's start. Group number 1 is the iolite crystal. It's black in color, just in case that is significant for somebody. Group number 2 is the sodalite crystal, which is a blue colored crystal. I really want to mention throat chakra for some of you here as a significant sign. And group number 3 is lepidolite, which is violet. Violet or purple? Same thing. Okay, as always, take all the time that you need, and I will see you in your readings. Oh, I love this. I just connected with your energy, group 1, and it feels so relaxing, so comforting, so safe. Like that big sigh, a deep, long exhale, a deep sigh of relief. Like I can finally be everything that I want to be. Wow, I love that. I love that. I'm feeling drawn to one of the decks that I'm using for tonight's reading. It's the Healing Waters Oracle. And even though that's the deck that I want to use for your guidance, I kind of feel like that's your energy. Like you give off an extremely healing energy in front of the world. That's how people receive your energy. I love that. Okay, so we're going to ask a bunch of questions tonight. First of all, who is your shadow self, or what aspect of your shadow self are we dealing with tonight exactly? Then we will ask for messages from your shadow self, although it's possible that we will channel a few things when we're connecting with your shadow self, or that specific part of your shadow self that wants to come through. And lastly, we'll get some guidance, some healing guidance that you need to receive right now. And I'm going to pull out all the cards in one go right now, so if you want to skip ahead, go for it. Who is group 1's shadow self? You have the Temptation card. It also says rose-colored glasses, as in looking at the world or a situation from rose-colored glasses. Who is group 1's? Ooh, we have 2 cards. You have the childhood card. It says a lot of things. It says fun, play, let loose, no worries, let go of control. Protective shell / world. You'll have to go deep within to meet your inner child. Pleasure, joy, happiness, bliss, ecstasy. And you have the words card. I I don't know how to explain it. It just has a bunch of letters and a whole lot of words on it. We'll just call it the words card. And these 2 came out together. Okay. Okay. Some things that were said to you when you were a kid. Maybe I'm hearing a couple of things right now. Maybe words are your love language, words of affirmation. Or I'm hearing words matter a lot to you, but I'm also seeing words as a tool for manifestation for you, a tool of or for manifestation for you. We'll see what this is about. Who is your shadow self? You have creativity / creations. Every thought counts. Yeah, see, that's the manifestation energy that I was connecting with. Right. Then what's temptation about? What does group 1's shadow self? Ooh, okay. You have advocate. What does group 1's shadow self want to say to them? The advocate card says light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. Shadow attribute embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Okay. Things are starting to make sense. What does group 1's shadow self want to say to them? You have the mother. God, I want to give you a hug. You also have the artist and the cave cards at the back of the decks. I want you to know that because deep down, especially with creations and creativity here, you are an artist, group 1. Deep inside of you, an artist sleeps. Or even if you have met this part of yourself, there is more freedom to be experienced within this relationship between you and your inner artist. For your healing guidance, you have Sweet Waters. Such a lovely card, and it says sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, and balance. Okay, let's do this. I kind of want to let loose somehow. I can put down my hair, but that's about it. What else do I want to do? I want my heart to open. I want my heart chakra to just burst open and to go outwards, to express itself, to reach out for something or someone, I'm not sure. I want my heart to be uncaged. Oh my god, I did not introduce your crystal. Group 1. You felt drawn to Iolite. Welcome. I have all of your cards pulled out already. I completely forgot. The timestamps are going to be crazy for this one. Okay. I do have a tarot deck here. Should we go through the oracles first, Spirit? I just heard it doesn't even matter. What is this? That could be a reflection of pessimism within you, a sense of hopelessness, a sense of despair, like nothing matters. Yeah, like you're close to giving up. Existentialism, meaninglessness, purposelessness. Or that's just spirit saying that the cards are already out and we have enough messages to start the reading. Okay, then let's start the reading. My friend, when you were a kid, unkind words were spoken to you. And even if they were never said aloud, you felt the energy. You felt a lack of kindness in your environment. Instead, expectations were imposed upon you. Perfectionism was imposed upon you. You're constantly being asked to perform for somebody. And since you have the mother card here, this could very well be a motherly figure. I just heard you were constantly trying to please this figure. It could also be any other feminine figure in your life, or it's possible that this relationship, this dynamic, this pattern, this cycle, this wound has affected your relationships with women in general. And since you have the Sweetwater's card here, it could specifically be talking about romantic relationships, even if it's not with women per se, but divine feminine energies, or just romantic partners, romantic suitors. And with temptation here, it's almost like a part of you was, I want to I want to say, I heard the words disowned, I heard the word abandoned. But it also just feels like it was not accepted. It was made to feel like, I just heard the word stupid. There was a part of you that was denied love, care, acceptance. And it was made to feel foolish for existing in the first place. So this could be a couple of things here with with advocate here. This could be, oh, this could be just your desire for kindness, your desire for softness. You want it to be held, you want it to be loved, you want it to be accepted for whomever you were, whomever you still are. Because this part of you that was denied love, it still exists within you. It's still there, still begging for recognition, for warmth, for love, for comfort, for acceptance. And some of you were shamed for being too soft, for being too kind, for being too gentle, for being too sensitive. And with creations and creativity here, this could also be that version of you that wanted big things in life, that dreamed about big things, things that you were told were unachievable, desires that you were told you were not capable of achieving, that you were not worthy of. The word I keep hearing with this card is manifestations. You want more. You wanted more. And you were told that it would be impossible. And the problem is that you started telling yourself that it was impossible too. But that part of you still wants all of those things. It's still, I'm going to cry. it's still inside dreaming about big things, thinking out loud. And sometimes when this part of you tries to connect with you, you just feel helpless because you've been conditioned into thinking that you're not enough, that you're not capable, that you're not worthy. That if you were to go after your desires, you would not be loved, you would not be accepted, you would not be well received. With these two cards here, the childhood and the words card, which is what I'm going to call it, I don't know if you can see very well. Yeah, better. Your inner child is still dreaming out loud. They're making up all of these beautiful scenarios, they're daydreaming, they're fantasizing. And with advocate energy here, this feels like such a strict, stubborn, or authoritative energy. Like this part of me, I'm thinking of the poem Bluebird by Charles Bukowski. Can I read it? Can I read it, Spirit? I'll have to do some. Mm, I'll have to take a pause and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. So I know this is a bit of a detour, but that's exactly what this reading is about. It's like you have this part of you that wants to run wild and free, but you're constantly caging it. You're constantly putting it inside boxes and putting walls around this part of you, trying to limit it, trying to control it, trying to force it to be quieter, to move less, to express less. But that's exactly what this part of you needs now. It needs freedom, it needs the safe space for expression. It needs that deep sigh of relief that we started this reading with. And so even though this poem feels like a detour, and I had to take a minute or two to find it, it's still it's what I need right now. It's what you need right now. Safe space for expression without containing yourself, without judging yourself, without being unkind to yourself, and loving yourself for all of it too. Okay, so this is The Bluebird by Charles Bukowski. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay in there. I'm not going to let anyone see you. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke, and the whores and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he's there. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay down. Do you want to mess me up? Do you want to screw up the works? Do you want to blow my book sales in Europe? There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night sometimes, when everybody's asleep. I say I know that you're there, so don't be sad. And then I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die, and we sleep together like that, with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to make a man weep, but I don't weep. Do you? Okay, I am going to add a link to a video which has this poem in it, and it's I don't really know what it's called, but basically this person, they've combined and compiled a bunch of videos in the background to this poem, and it's beautiful. I'll share it with you. I think you will love it. I loved it. I found it sometime during COVID and loved it. Okay. I feel so I feel like something's missing now. I feel like support is missing right now. Like I need something to rely on. Maybe that's what the Sweet Waters card is about, because it says romance, and even though it's not particularly have to talk to, it does not actually have to be talking about romantic relationships. Although it could, there's just a need for you to reach out to people that actually make you feel safe, that actually make you feel loved, in front of whom you can express all of yourself. It could be a specific person, it could be a bunch of people, it could even be just you yourself. It almost feels like we're nearing the end of the reading, even though I still feel like a lot hasn't been said yet. I'm hearing that's because the next step is for you to sit with yourself and actually say aloud all the things, share all the things that have gone unspoken. Go back to your childhood, return to all the unkind words that were said to you, and acknowledge that. Acknowledge that there was unkindness in your environment. And I know I mentioned a motherly figure, but it could be anyone else, it could be anyone at all. I'm even thinking of school and teachers, and even parents of your friends, just the adults around you, the places where you thought you would receive love and softness and acceptance, but you were judged instead. You were pushed to be someone else instead, to perform according to their needs rather than your desires, your inner compass. It's time to reclaim this part of you that wants to just be everything that they are, that wants to express itself. And again, that expression could be anything at all. It could be a desire for love and romance. It could be a desire for softness and kindness. It could be manifestation. It could be any artistic skill, talent that you always wanted to follow and get better at, but you were always told that it would not be financially viable, so you were, yeah. I just saw you trying to walk towards something and then someone putting a door in front of you or a wall in front of you, so you were blocked from it. Yeah. It's time to, I just want to regain your perspective, but I was going to say it's time to shift your perspective, to return to what you love, including yourself, to return to your center, to return to your compass, to return to your inner voice and listen to it for once, honor it for once, make it feel loved, make it feel seen, make it feel accepted and enough and worthy and validated. Good enough. You are good enough. That beautiful quote from John Steinbeck. Now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. And since you have the Sweet Waters card here, which says sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, and balance, engaging in sensuality, being present through your senses, finding sweetness in life, whatever that might look like for you, that would help. It would heal this part of you, make them feel loved and safe and seen and enough. Listen to your dreams. I'm going to end your reading there, but listen to your dreams. Listen to the part of you, listen to the blue bird in you. Listen to this part of you that's constantly thinking out loud and dreaming out loud, and that wants something. It desperately wants something, it desires something. Let it go after that desire. Give yourself the permission to go after your desires, to chase your dreams. No matter how impractical they might sound right now, or how sure you are that they might not work out. Allow yourself to move towards your dreams. Okay, group 1. I'm going to leave your reading there. I don't want to say goodbye like the way I usually do. I don't want to say anything. I just want to leave your reading there. I just want to leave you alone with your thoughts, your inner world. Allow yourself to dive deep into it. Yeah. This whole idea of, I guess we're still not done. This whole idea of your dreams being too big for you, too unachievable for you. This energy of temptation and looking at the world from rose-colored glasses. This is exactly where the perspective shift needs to take place. On one hand, it kind of feels like your higher self is saying, I want you to put on the rose-colored glasses. I want you to look at the world as if the world is your oyster. I want you to look at your dreams as if they can come true. And this energy of temptation that you've been conditioned into sitting with, you've been conditioned into seeing your dreams as a tempting dream, as temptation that will ultimately harm you. That needs to be released. That's where the distortion is. Yeah. Give yourself a safe space for expression. I just saw you opening your heart and words bursting out of you like a waterfall. Yeah. Or like just water with a lot of pressure. Yeah. Like broken drainage. That's what needs to happen for you. That feeling of being let loose. Allowing yourself to be wild and free. Allowing yourself to be anything and everything that you want and need to be. Without naming it or labeling it as something bad, something that needs to be controlled, something that needs to be caged. Yeah. Okay. That is where I will finally leave your reading, my friend. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Group 2. You felt drawn to sow delight. I am going to shuffle the cards now. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. But essentially we are going to look at 3 things today. We're going to ask who your shadow self is, or what aspect of your shadow self wants to come through. Then we'll ask I see someone, but they're hiding from me. Who is it? Is your shadow self hiding from you? Or this part has been hidden so far. The second part of this reading, I feel so slow. I feel so slow in your energy. I feel like I can take forever just introducing this part of the reading. I just saw 3113. That's Scorpio energy, death, transformation, rebirth. The second part of this reading is messages from your shadow self. And the third part of this reading is some healing guidance from your shadow self. I don't even know what this energy is, but I like it. Because I feel I feel admired in this energy. I feel beautiful in this energy. I like it. Is it an obsession with beauty that's coming through for you tonight? Let's see. Okay, now I want to be quick. Something being skipped? What's being skipped? What's being skipped? What's hiding? Interesting. What is this? It's okay. Almost like something's hiding underneath something that looks good on the surface. Interesting. Who is group 2's shadow self? You have the isolation or the abandonment card. Something that looks good in front of the world, but there's a lot going on within or underneath it. Something's hiding, and it's done such an amazing job at hiding that you yourself are not even aware of it. Ooh, so you have the wounded card here. Yeah. Oh, you can even see the text at the back. It says tired, crying, helpless, a lonely image, secluded in a corner, teary-eyed, sleepless, physical ailments, exhaustion, emotional exhaustion as well, a card of rest. Who is group 2's shadow self? We have fullness with sensuality and pleasure. I feel very sleepy in your reading. Even though I'm not sleeping, I can tell that it's your energy, it's not my energy. Yeah. You have the card of addict. Light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. What does group 2's shadow self want to say to them? You have sustainer, the sustainer. Now the face is a lot clearer and bigger. It's your shadow self looking right at you. And it's asking you, how long are you going to avoid me for? I'm a little scared. Okay, so this is, the last card is for some healing guidance. You have the ripple effect here. And it says part of something bigger, details are taken care of. Should we get some tarot cards as well? Okay. Tell me more about isolation, abandonment. You have the Knight of Cups. Tell me more about wounded. You have the Queen of Wands. Tell me more about fullness. You have the Chariot. Tell me more about addict. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Tell me more about sustainer. You have the Hermit. Tell me more about ripple effect. Three of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Both the Queen and King of Pentacles have come out for you today. You're tired, my friend. You're exhausted. I just heard you're burnt out. I also just heard, I don't even know from what. All I know is that you're tired. I just heard you're done for. This could be talking about a specific situation that you're dealing with, or it could be talking about life overall. Could even be both. But you're tired. And with fullness and addict here, it's possible that you rely on certain pleasures, sensual pleasures, which could be as simple as a cup of coffee in the morning. And you do it to keep yourself going. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you can tell that you did not sleep well, you did not sleep enough, that you need more rest. And that's just an example, but it perfectly illustrates the energy. Like you wake up, you're all groggy, and instead of thinking to yourself, you know what, maybe I deserve a day of rest, maybe what I really need to do right now is call in sick and just take the day off and sleep all day long, you make yourself a cup of coffee. You force yourself to wake up. You force yourself to keep going. I feel I feel sleepy. It could be, I'm even thinking of positive affirmations. Like you keep telling yourself, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I can keep going. I have more to give, more to offer, more fuel in me. I have more in me. I can do this. I'm strong enough. But the truth is that you're exhausted. You are exhausted and you just need love now. You just need to rest now. You just need to, you have sustainer here. You just need to support yourself now. No matter what that looks like for you. I want to get some self-care cards for this group. What self-care guidance does group 2 need right now? Yeah, burning bowl ritual. So I need to release the past, I need to release something, whether a cycle, something that has not been working out. You have spent time with animals, which is that comforting, loving energy that you're seeking the most right now. And you have movement. And movement makes me think of moving forwards, towards a new reality, towards a new beginning. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know what's happening in your life. But this can't keep going on. I'm feeling drawn to the purple in these cards. It's making me think of the crown chakra. It's making me think that you already know this. You already know that you can't keep this up. That you need to pause, that you need to rest, you need to slow down, you need to take a break, you need to let this go. Whatever the situation is that's not working out, You need to let this go. You need to surrender it. And since you have the ripple effect here, which says part of something bigger, details are taken care of, you need to surrender this to, I want to say, God. You need to let it go. You need to, I just saw 40, 41, 41. That's that temperance energy, the energy of balance. It's like the scales have been imbalanced, and now spirit wants to take over. Spirit needs to take over. You've been trying to control the situation for far too long, and now the universe is ready to come in. The universe wants to come in and help you. And maybe that's what you need right now, to let the universe support you, to let the universe help you. Pay attention to the habits, the daily habits that feed you energy, that drain your energy, and that you, I want to say, you have an addictive relationship with, that acts as an enabler, but that feels too intense. It does not have to be true for all of you. So it could just be, I want to say, something that you don't even need. Just pay attention to your relationship with pleasure. That's what I would say. Something needs to change within this situation. Your problem is that you're trying to control the situation from the outside, when what you're supposed to do is change from within, change on the inside, and let the universe take care of the rest. Yeah. With isolation, abandonment here, and the hermit as well, and the sustainer, there is a need for alone time. I mean, you do have spent time with animals here, so it's not like you're being asked to isolate yourself, but be pickier about the people that you do spend time with. Again, pay attention to what feeds your energy and what drains your energy. So I'm even thinking of someone who uses relationships, especially romantic and physical relationships, as a distraction from their inner world. That needs to change. That pattern needs to go. I have so many cards here, and yet there's nothing to say. Again, it's that energy of exhaustion. You've done your part, is what I want to say. Again, I don't know what exactly you're dealing with. I keep hearing career though, so it could be a career related situation. But you've done everything that you were supposed to. Now focus on what's going on inside of you. Find change there, because that change is what will help your external reality, external world transform as well. You have a lot of divine protection around you. I keep seeing a lot of spirit beings around me. So don't worry. You're safe. You're protected. You're taken care of. And this is going to work out one way or another. For now, focus on what you can control. Yeah, especially your body, your habits, your routine, your patterns. With Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Chariot here, I wonder if, and the Queen of Pentacles as well, there's a lot of feminine energy here. I wonder if there's a relationship with a divine feminine that is ready to change now. Something within this relationship is ready to change. Cancer and Virgo seasons slash energies, the time frame between the two. The next 5 weeks and up to 3 months could also be significant. The number 24 as well, either as a significant age or a date. You have the number 7 on burning bowl rituals, so July could also be important. You also have 48 and 36, which could be a significant age. But I'm also thinking of how 48 is twice 24, twice the number 24. I wonder if that's significant for anyone. Or maybe the angel number 24, 24 is important. Is there anything else, Spirit? March and May could also be important. I've already mentioned July and September as well. See, now I feel very dreamy. Like I'm in a daze. Like I can completely lose sight of my surroundings, of my physical, material world. And maybe that's what you need right now. To be lost. To be lost and to not constantly worry about the problems in your world. You know? I missed 4824 just now. So that's really significant for somebody here. I don't know how though. 24 and 48. I don't know how, but it's significant. Okay. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to rest. To not worry for once. To not worry about everything all the time. Okay. Group 2, I'm going to leave your reading there. I feel something. How should I explain this? It's like I feel my needs deeply right now, except I don't know what those needs are. I'm just sitting with the energy of needing something. Yeah. Group 3. I feel quite rushed in your energy. Like let's just get over with this. Tell me what I need to know, what I need to hear, and I'll be on my way. Interesting. Someone running away. Someone running away. Someone chasing something. What are you chasing? Maybe a runner chaser dynamic. So you fell drawn to Lepidolite. I forgot to introduce group 1's crystal. So had to do that just now. Who is group 3's shadow self? Alright, I wanted to tell you the spread that we're going to use for this reading, and I can hear a part of you go, that's not necessary at all. Let's just move on to the cards. Let's just move on to the messages and the guidance. But we're going to look at who your shadow self is, what aspect of your shadow self is trying to come through, what messages they have for you, and what healing guidance Spirit has for you. You have the negative space card here. I saw an alien. Star seeds could be significant. Maybe this act of connecting with your shadow self is itself pretty foreign to you. That's not for everybody, of course. But if you're new to this, yeah, or maybe this part is new to you. You have broken thinking. Ugh. Negative space and broken thinking. That's heavy. I don't even know what it is yet, but it is heavy. And no wonder, I want to say no wonder you've been running away from it. You have the Empress card here. Such different energy from the other two cards. so much more colorful and bright, almost like again, you often fixate on your external world, your external reality, your surface level reality, or at least that's where you are right now. You haven't really been taking the time to connect with your internal world, to connect with your shadow self specifically, and you're just focused on the beauty in your external world, and you don't feel the need to um, you don't feel the need to sit with this part of you. What messages does group three's shadow self have for them? You have you have femme fatale. That's the right pronunciation. And it says light attributes highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow attributes inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. Some of you may be here from group two's reading. And if you noticed, I shuffled the deck again because the card that came out was the addict card, which was also the card that came out for group one. La 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 la. You have the bridge. Yeah. This is an over fixation on your material world. It's a hyper fixation to the extent of avoiding your inner world. Hyperfixating on money, on beauty, on your relationships, on pleasures, sensual pleasures. And there's nothing wrong with all of those, any of those, but you have been avoiding your inner world because of it. I don't know if that's on purpose or or if it's subconscious. For your guidance, you have let it go. And it says release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. So this is subconscious for many of you. Almost feels like there was something in the past, yeah, with negative space and broken thinking here, something did not work out. Something fell through, something turned into a mess, a bigger mess than you thought, that you imagined. What is this, Spirit? What did not work out? You have the Queen of Pentacles, so a relationship with a woman, or this could also be health issues. It could also be, I want to say it could be a career and finances, but since you have the Empress here, it kind of feels like that's one of the things that you're focused on right now. That's what you're trying to prioritize. It's one of the aspects of your material world that you're focusing on, so that you don't have to deal with this Queen of Pentacles energy. You have the King of Cups at the back of the deck, so it is some sort of a relationship for many of you. Anything else? Okay, we don't need more cards. I'm feeling drawn to the phrase opens your heart on femme fatale. Interesting. There's always a sense of someone trying to act like everything is okay even though their heart is broken. It's like something does not work out, you get rejected, and you're just like, okay, I never wanted that in the first place. I don't care for that. I couldn't care less about it. And the truth is that you're heartbroken, and you would do anything to pretend or to avoid facing that part of you, to avoid facing the pain. And with the bridge card here, the only way to move forward is to feel the pain. If this is talking about a relationship, the bridge card is a sign that there is potential for reconciliation, for reconnection, if that is what you want. I don't want to lead someone astray. I don't want to give anyone false hope. If you were the one rejected and you don't want to reach out to this person, you don't want to, I'm hearing you don't want to stoop low, that low, then definitely ignore that message about reconciliation. But the bridge does feel like if you wanted to reach out, it would be a yes. There would be openness. Or, or it's even possible that they will reach out to you. Take it only and if it resonates. So if this was like a career opportunity that did not work out, then of course. Maybe this will return into your world in a different form entirely. But there is potential for something new, for a new beginning here. But before that happens, your heart needs to open. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Before it happens, you need to fully let it go. And create space for this new beginning to come in. I love this card so much in your spread. It feels like hope, it feels so colorful, it feels beautiful. This energy of the Empress, it's also it's one of the most beautiful cards that I've ever created. And I'm very proud of it, and all the colors and everything, and the energy of the Empress itself. It's so beautiful. But at the same time, this feels superficial. It feels made up, it feels very surface level. Just think of something very superficial, something that looks perfect and untouchable on the surface. Like I'm thinking of mannequins right now, with all the perfect body shapes and all the beautiful clothes. But inside they're hollow and they're not real, or AI created models, for instance. They're not real, they're made up. And what you need right now, I'm going to get another card for the bridge card. The King of Cups again. One more. Okay. No? What? This is that broken thinking energy. I have the Seven of Cups. It's like you want reconnection. The Fool here. You want reconnection, you want reunion, you want reconciliation. You want a new opportunity, you want a new beginning. You want something renewed, you want a rebirth. But also at the same time, you're like, no, it's not going to happen, it's not going to work out. I don't even know if I'm allowed to want this. Yeah. I don't know if I deserve this. If it did not work out the first time, how could it possibly work out the second time? What if I don't receive a second chance? What if I don't receive forgiveness? There's just so much thinking going on here. That's again, it's the broken thinking energy. And with negative space here, it's like you're digging a grave for yourself. Even though the idiom means something else entirely, it just feels like you're digging a hole for yourself and you keep sinking in deeper and deeper and deeper. But there is hope here. There is more hope here than you realize. And the only bridge to that hope, the only way to feel that hope again, would be to allow yourself to feel the pain, to feel the despair of what happened, of how rejected and how painful it felt. Yeah. With the Fool at the back and the femme fatale and the repetition of the letter F, it could be a significant initial, but I was also thinking of the month February being significant. Someone born in February or something that happened in February, for instance. With the Empress, you also have Libra and Taurus energies. With the King of Cups, you have Pisces and, yeah, mainly Pisces energy. It could also just be water signs overall. but I just saw a fish. So Pisces specifically, which again, it's the Pisces season begins in February, so February is somehow really important. You also have the repetition of the letter B. Someone's birthday is in February. So I don't know whose. It could be yours, but yeah, B and F. BF, best friend, boyfriend. Okay, some kind of breakup happened here. See, here's the thing. You have released the past, forgive, soften, move forward. You are supposed to move beyond this ending, but what you move towards will be different for all of you. It could be the connection for some of you, and it could be a completely new person for others of you. Again, I don't know which direction you're meant to move into. This is a general reading, it is a collective reading, and I don't want you to create another loop of the same old cycle for yourself. So take this however it resonates. If you are open to reconnection, then there is possibility for it. There is potential for it. Yeah. Is there something else, Spirit? You have the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands. I was just looking at the Seven of Cups energy, and I realized that a part of you is not able to even imagine how exactly reconciliation would take place. How would a new beginning find you at all? And the King of Swords and the Ace of Wands is guidance for just that. It's like Spirit is saying, just reach out. Just reach out for it. Like, I'm even thinking of, let's say you get rejected from a job and you just apply for it again. Or you apply for another position at the same company, at the same organization, something like that. Just reach out for it. Send that email, call that person, whatever it might look like for you. Again, see, I was just going to say that if it does not work out, if this person or if this opportunity does not return into your world, then that's your sign to ultimately finally let this thing go. But I don't want you to feel that pain. So it really just depends on where you are and whether or not you are open to a new beginning. You can completely say, okay, I want a new beginning, but not out of this particular situation. And that's absolutely fine. Yeah. But there is hope here. That's where I want to leave you and your reading. There is hope here. There will be change. There will be healing. There is potential for a new beginning here, no matter what it looks like. And I want your heart to be open to that. Your shadow self wants you to be open to that. Yeah, healing will happen. I just heard healing can take place. Allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt, and allow yourself to release what is no longer working out, and trust that a new beginning will find you. Hope for a new day, and it will find you. The Empress card says luxury, abundance, fertility, freshness, growth, productivity, humility, knowing that everything is going to be okay and being humble about it. Soft beauty, an invitation to focus on nutrition, nourishment, a card of sexual healing. I don't know why I wanted to read all of that. Maybe that's your self-care guidance. Maybe those are the real things that Spirit really wants you to focus on. and not the superficial surface level aspects of your life. Of course, everything is important, your career is important, your everything is important, all of it matters, but right now what you need is a whole lot of love and warmth and self-care and a focus on nutrition and nourishment. Okay, my friend, I'm going to leave your reading there. Thank you for being here, and I want to say thank you for letting me read for you, and I will see you in the next one.